Okay. So you are out there working on the new SNEW album.
It's Willie Bass reporting live at Total Access Recording in Redondo Beach, California. I'm in the
Yes.
studio with SNEW and Ken Scott, Bobby Orsinski, and we're rocking it hard here.
And now you're doing all the bass on this album.
I'm doing most of the bass. We've got Paul Ill from Bill Ward and Linda Perry's band is going to play on a couple of songs as well. Me and Paul go way back, and he's a great friend of Bobby's, and I'm just honored to be in great company and playing some good heavy metal rock and roll.
How'd you get involved with the band?
I've known Curtis, the lead singer. He actually does my graphics. I've known him for 20 years.
Okay. And are you planning on touring with SNEW, or do you have your own tour plans?
Well, I have my own tour, but I'm looking to bring SNEW out on the road with me
Okay.
on some dates, probably after the album is mixed, and we're looking at blowing up your town.
Great. Now, what is the name of your tour, and what will you be playing on it?
Well, my tour is called
Okay.
feedamerica-now.org, and we're going all over North America, feeding the hungry, and it's just basically Americans helping fellow Americans. We
Okay.
got a couple of dates in Canada as well.
Great. Where so?
We're playing in Toronto at the Rock Pile and also in Cambridge at 515 Concert Club.
Well, I hope you can make it out to Montreal as well.
I hadn't really thought about it. We were up in Michigan. I'm going to be playing the Temple Theater in Saginaw and the Token Lounge in Detroit. So I thought, well, why not pop over into Canada and hit those areas as well? Because
Now,
I played there. I played there in January, February last year with George Lynch.
right.
We did 21 shows with Lynch Mob last year,
Wow.
actually in January.
Oh, you're getting a call. Aren't live interviews fun? Now, what was I? What is the concept behind the tour? Now, are people supposed to bring out perishable or non-perishable goods, or is it to just the door goes to a local charity? What's the concept?
Well, basically, this is concerts to end hunger.
Okay.
So we want to see people bring out non-perishable canned goods,
Okay.
and you get a discount admission for bringing canned goods.
Okay.
And 100% of everything, the money, the donations, the canned goods, go directly to the nearest food bank to the club, to each club.
Okay. Great. That's a great concept. And let me just go back to SNEW for a second. They're working with Ken Scott on this album. Am I correct?
Yes.
And he's been involved with, boy, correct me if I'm wrong, Beatles and Hendrix and Missing Persons and what else?
Well, I don't think he did Hendrix.
Oh,
Bobby did. Bobby worked with some Hendrix stuff.
okay.
Um,
I knew there was Hendrix in there somewhere.
Ken has done Pink Floyd,
Wow.
David Bowie, Elton John.
Wow. And how did he get involved in the project?
I think Curtis can answer that.
The lead singer?
There he is.
Hey, what's going on out
Hello,
there?
hello. How are you?
Brave words and bloody knuckles.
You gotta
Yeah,
love that.
yeah, we're thrilled to have Ken in on this. He's really good friends with our producer Bobby Osinski. So
Okay.
Bobby brought him in on this, and he's waiting in the next room for us to start recording any second now. So
Well, that's great.
yeah,
And what does he bring to the table in terms of his experience?
this guy knows how to record like nobody you've ever known.
Oh, the sounds are amazing. It's
Just
absolutely incredible sounding.
This album is going to be the best thing we've ever done, and I mean, it's just dynamic.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this. By the way, you just noticed the little one walked in. I had to shoo her away. Now, Will, you're also going to be at the Playboy Mansion soon.
Yes, we're doing a rock and roll fantasy camp, and this one is at the Playboy Mansion. They're taping right now the New York segment, which features Vince Neil and Lita Ford. But the one in Hollywood at the Playboy Mansion features Paul Stanley, myself, Niels Lofgren, and I
George
believe
Lynch.
George Lynch. Yeah.
And did you mention Billy Sheehan? Is he there, or is that not confirmed yet?
Mr. Sheehan, Mr. Big will be.
Yeah.
So I'm honored because Billy employed one of my guitar players, Mitch Perry, in his band
Right.
called Talus, and we've never really hung out. So it'll be great to hang out with him and get to know him.
Will there be some bass dueling going on?
Well, Rudy Sarzo is going to be there too, so it's going to be
Triple
a
header.
good bass. It'll be a good bass weekend.
Wow.
No
Now,
pun intended.
no,
Willie.
Willie Bass. Now, back in the days, you hung out with all these guys, the Dawkins guys and the Rat guys and the '80s guys, right?
Well, George was actually in my band before he was in Dokken. It's just like Slash was in my band before he was in Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, people keep forgetting that, myself included. Just now, how was it working with them back then? And were you happy for their success when they moved on to the other bands, or were you sort of like, hey, why'd you leave me?
Well, I was just telling SNEW about it. I'm on page 69, appropriately so, in Duff's new book.
Right.
It's so easy. And he shares in the book that they thought I was pissed off that they stole Slash out of the band. And I thought that was hilarious, man. But, it wouldn't have been Guns N' Roses without Slash. So, it's just that serendipity thing and just a special situation. I'm just glad to be where I was and where I am today. It was all just meant to be the way it was. I think everything is perfect the way it is.
It is now. When you were back in the '80s, you sort of were on the periphery of all these bands, or you had them in your band, like you just mentioned, but you didn't achieve the same success. What happened?
Well, I was focused on Sunset Strip,
Right.
and I didn't realize that my record label, Enigma Records, had released the record worldwide until I started to get letters from Belgium
Wow.
and Japan, and then I realized that it was, the scope is the whole world and not just Hollywood and the Sunset Strip. But, I was in the Texas Boys Choir. I sang opera for between 10 and 15. We won 2 Grammy Awards. So, I've considered myself always successful. I came to LA and met my mentors. I worked with Buddy Miles and lived with him for 3 years. He was Hendrix's drummer. So, I worked with Gary Kilgren, who was the owner of the record plant, who was a co-producer on the first Jimi Hendrix album. He built studios for Stevie Wonder, Sly, Jimi Hendrix.
Wow.
It was a hell of a college. Like hanging out with Gary Kilgren every day was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Enigma Records, which is sort of an enigma for me to say. They were a great independent label that really showed, led the way for rock music.
Well, yeah, Enigma and Metal Blade were pioneers. They signed everything that had a pulse, so
Yeah.
it worked.
It worked really well, and
They sold the company off for $53 million. So I would say that it worked.
yeah, that's not a bad gig. And then they're the first ones who gave Poison any time of day, also, which was interesting.
Well, yeah, that was, my manager was Vicki Hamilton, and Vicki Hamilton shopped everybody. She shopped Motley Crue. She shopped Poison, Guns N' Roses, Faster Pussycat.
That's right.
We didn't know at the time, but it was really an important part of Hollywood and great music, that whole era.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hold on a sec.